Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Knuppe Ranch. This morning, we're gonna feed some cows. It got down to like -8 last night. So I'm gonna throw the heater on the Bobcat here. Bobcat would probably start without the heater on it, but it'd just be a little easier on the engine if we threw the heater on it for a little bit, just to give it a little bit of time to warm up. I threw it on for like 10 minutes or something. Be easier than running the glow plugs and starting it. Alright, there we go. So it's just a propane heater that we use, and we just put that piece of steel set it on top of the heater and on the top of the engine, so that heat just kind of stays trapped and runs right up into the engine bay. Yeah, like I said, it's like -8 this morning, so we don't do it this every morning. We haven't had to do it for a while, but when it's this cold, it's just a little easier on the Bobcat, the actual engine of the Bobcat, to just put the heater on it for like 10 minutes. That way it starts a little easier, because otherwise it's kind of hard on them engines to start when it's this cold. So it's actually, you know, despite it being cold last night, it's actually supposed to get up to like high 30s and low 40s today, I believe. So we're not gonna feed the heifers in the feed bunks. We're gonna open that gate and let them out into the bull's pasture here. Well, we call it the bull's pasture. The bulls aren't in it, but we call it the bull pasture. But we're just gonna let them out into that piece and let them graze, because it's supposed to get really nice and warm today, and the wind's not supposed to blow or anything. So should be some snow melt going on today, which we don't have enough snow to where they can't get to the grass anyway, but just kind of helps when the snow melts. They can get to the grass a little easier and walk through it a little easier. So, but today should be a good day to have them out grazing, so we're just gonna kick them out there and let them graze. But we'll still feed this middle pen with a couple cows and them, a couple smaller calves and stuff. We'll still feed them, but the heifers will be out grazing. Got some pretty gnarly icicles on the grain bin this morning. So instead of just feeding them in the feedlot, the reason why we're letting them heifers out to graze is, well, because number one, it's good for them to be out grazing instead of stuck in the feedlot, stretch their legs and stuff a little bit. And number two, it costs us less money per head to have them out grazing than it does to have them in and feeding them ground hay. So we're still rolling out a bale for them, but so obviously that, I mean, it still costs us some money to feed them that hay, but it saves us a little bit less money just to have them out grazing. You know, it saves us diesel fuel. We don't have to feed for as long. We just got to open the gate and throw a bale out there for them as well. So it saves us a little bit of money, and it's nice to have them out grazing on grass when it's 40 degrees in February. So yeah, today's supposed to be nice. The last 3 days have been cold, snowing and cold, and roads haven't been really the best. But today is the first day of warmer weather again. It's just gonna keep getting warmer. I think on my phone, like the next 10-day forecast, I think there was only like 3 or 4 days below 50 degrees. So we're gonna have a bunch of nice weather again for the next 10 days anyway. So it's a pretty good feeling to have. I'm sure a lot of the guys that are calving in May, or even calving right now, are probably pretty thankful for the weather that we're having. Makes it a little easier on them. But so yeah, I'm gonna go check some waters and see if I can be gentle and not spook these heifers, because they're still kind of scared of me. Check it out. These heifer calves are finally kind of getting used to me. Instead of running away from me, they're kind of staying, and they got the courage to kind of check me out a little bit instead of just running away, which is good. I don't want them to be scared of me. I want them to be fairly docile around me so that I can walk in here and start their water and kind of walk through them and check on them without them taking off and running through the fence or something. So I'm glad that they're kind of finally calming down a little bit. So under this shelter, check this out, guys. Those are all spider webs with frost on them. That is really cool. So the last time that we let the heifers out into this pasture just to graze, they loved it. They were really happy. They wouldn't even come back in and eat, even when we still, if they were out there and we fed them in here, they wouldn't even come in and eat. I mean, a couple of them maybe would, but the good majority of them would stay out grazing. So it's good to see that they're happy out there grazing, because that's what we want out of our cows. We want them to be happy grazing even when it's cold, you know. So because, you know, like we had mentioned a couple videos ago, we're trying to get into doing the rotational grazing throughout the winter to kind of try to get away from feeding hay and kind of saving some grass. And there's a lot of benefits that we're kind of missing out on by not doing it in the winter time. So it's good to see that our future cows are pretty happy out grazing. So it's a good feeling. Good morning. It's the next day now after I filmed yesterday. We didn't really do a whole lot yesterday, and we're really not doing a whole lot today, but we are going to, I gotta run down and finish some chores this morning, feed the grain to that middle pen and start their water. Then we're gonna run out across the creek and check on the cows and see what they're looking like. If they're out of hay, then we'll let them into the next piece. If not, then we'll just kind of see what they look like and leave them be. The heifers, calves are still out grazing. We let them out there yesterday, so, but we're gonna run out there and do that and see what the cows look like. Okay, so the cows are out of hay, but they look pretty content out there. I mean, they're out grazing and somewhat spread out, so they're not super hungry. So I'm just gonna leave this gate open to come into here to get more hay. So if they come wandering up here looking for more stuff and they get hungry, then they'll find it and be in here in this, with this pasture and the hay bales that are set out. So I'll just open it. I'm not gonna call them or nothing. They'll find their way once they get hungry, or if they're coming up here to water, they'll notice the gate open and come into here. So but other than that, they look all right, so we'll just leave this gate open for them. They can wander up here and find this hay. Well, I guess with that concludes the weekend. We didn't have a whole lot of stuff going on this weekend. We're kind of at a standstill with the flatbed, like I mentioned, because we need to run to town and get some steel for it, the diamond plate, and we got to get some angle iron and stuff, and then get some of the materials to build the headache rack out of, and then of course all the lights and wiring and all that fun stuff too. So we're kind of at a standstill on the flatbed for now. We didn't have to set out any bales this weekend or nothing, just because we did it all last weekend. So we got like 2 weeks of hay. Well, not anymore, but last weekend we set out 2 weeks worth of hay, so we don't got to do nothing this weekend with them, and so we just let them into the next piece. And yeah, we're not feeding no calves or nothing, so we're bored. We're boring people this weekend. We didn't do nothing, but I guess with that, that's just about gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So as always, we'll catch you in the next one.